Okay, welcome back. Happy New Year, happy holidays. I hope everybody is refreshed, ready to get those new gym memberships that are new, Planet Fitness in Penn Branch. I have to say, I have to brag a little bit. I was coming down Branch Avenue from Temple Hills into DC, and I saw the biggest billboard with a Planet Fitness sign, and it said Penn Branch at the bottom. I said, you know what? On a good day, I'm gonna go in front of it and I'm gonna take a picture and I'm gonna post it on our Twitter. So be on the lookout for that. So we have good things happening this year. I just feel very energized. I'm excited. You guys should be excited. This community is really on the radar, and we really need more community engagement. We need support. Because when they're pouring resources into your backyard, you have to show that you're appreciative and you want it to keep coming in our direction. Let me just touch on a few things. So today actually was Miss Laura Richardson's husband's funeral. Robert Richards. I was very sad to hear that her husband passed away over the weekend, and his actual funeral ceremony was today. We actually did a home visit with her, took her some flowers and sat with her and chatted a bit, and she was very appreciative of that, and we actually even gave her a card from the community. So that was a good thing. And she was like, you know, I'm shocked that you're here, Shannon. I said, you know, at the end of the day, community is about being there for one another and supporting those in time of need. So that was a good thing on our behalf. So she is very appreciative, and she just wants to thank the community for making her feel loved and supported. And she has been very vigilant in supporting our neighborhood on any concerns that anybody has had. So she will always get my utmost respect. So let's just take a moment of silence for Mr. Richards. Okay, thank you. All right, so in other news or pressing updates that I want to give the community. Yes, I'm sorry.
Did an email go out about Mr. Richards passing?
Ms. Pauls did send one out. You didn't get it? Okay.
It was sent out on the Penn Branch listserv as well as the Public Works listserv, and then Washington Post posted it on their website because of the high level of work he did throughout the city as a Republican. So it went out last Wednesday and was repeatedly sent out on Saturday by the Washington Post. So if you didn't get by the Post, if you didn't get it by me, give me your email so I can add you to.
I'm on the listserv.
But I sent it. I sent it twice. I sent it.
Okay. Well, that may have been a fault of our own. Well, I'll check into it. I'll check into it. But it was actually today. Also, to give some feedback on our holiday bazaar that we had at Penn Branch, we had over 350 people that registered to attend. We had 15 local Market 7 businesses and vendors that were there. The vendors collectively collected approximately $2,000, so that was good. And we actually had to change the date at the last minute because of weather issues that were unforeseen. Planet Fitness saw an increase of membership enrollment that day, and also they were so excited about the engagement and people that showed up and came out that they are excited to even do things this upcoming spring and summer. So I'm really excited about that. So be on the lookout for those things to come. And we had a lot of new visitors to Penn Branch that had never been, so that was good too. Our holiday social feedback, Laverne, do you want to give some?
It was a success. I have to say our holiday social was a success. because of you guys. Everybody that participated, showed up, brought a dish, and we just had a wonderful time in fellowship.
And again, I have to brag, Elson's son blew us away with his music on the piano.
It was the highlight of the night.
And he currently attends Duke Ellington, and I was floored. I mean, I don't think not one person was talking in that moment. Everybody was just in awe, and everybody was in a cheery mood, and it was plenty of food, plenty of desserts, and I can't wait until the next one. So, good job. I want to say thank you to Ms. Pauls, my mom, and Tawana for putting that together. It was decorated beautifully, the music and the selection of food and everything. And we want to thank Kim for putting together a beautiful basket to auction off. And Robin Hammond came that day, and her brother was in the hospital, her parents were at the hospital, her spirits were down, and she said, you know what, I'm just going to go to this Penn Branch Christmas party. And she won that raffle for that basket, and she said that really truly lifted my spirits today. And I was just glad that you guys allowed me to come and be a part of it. It really lifted my spirits, and that really made me happy to hear. So thank you again, everyone. Also, I'll let Hal come up and do the minutes from the last meeting. Okay. Sorry, did I kind of blindside you?
Good evening, everybody. How are you?
Good evening.
So for our November meeting, we announced the Holiday Bazaar winter event that Shannon just summarized. We heard the crime report from Lieutenant Jameson. We had guest speakers from DC Fire and EMS who talked about emergency preparedness and fire prevention. Then we also had Representative Jean Bethel from the Office of the People's Council who talked about some potential concerns with utilities and what the Office of the People's Council does on behalf of DC residents. Finally, we had committee reports and treasurer's report. I discussed what the organization is doing on behalf of the community for the Pennsylvania Avenue-Minnesota Avenue intersection project. Ms. Paul provided an update on the Public Works Committee's activities, particularly with respect to the 9/11 Memorial Park. And then we heard our treasurer's report that at the end of the month of October, we had $1,838 in ending balance, and that we were working to collect membership, and during that evening, we had collected about $380 in donations and new membership fees. Any questions? I hear a motion to accept the minutes.
All who accept the minutes as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We accept the minutes as presented.
All right, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle. I'm not sure if the Planet Fitness representative is here now or yet. I don't know if they made it, but I'll go ahead and let Ann Beers come up and show out. Miss Pamela Hagan, she's the vice principal of Ann Beers Elementary School. Please give her a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And with me is our Director of School Logistics, Ms. Teresa Everett.
Good evening.
Good evening. And thank you so much for having us. When Ms. Cannon reached out to us, we were excited to hear. And so we were making sure that we got here to reach out to you for how you can help, and you reach out to us because I understand from Ms. Cannon that the Penn Branch neighborhood community now has several students, they're school age, and we would like to attract your students to come to Beers because we have a lot of wonderful things going on. We have good history with this neighborhood as well as the Hillcrest neighborhood, and we have students now who come from all over the city, A couple of years ago, 70% of our students actually were out of boundary because people who grew up and went to Beers like for their children to come back. And so we have a lot of long-standing families. We have staff members who actually went to Beers. We have staff members who have grandchildren now attending Beers. So we pride ourselves in continuing the family atmosphere. As of today, we are 497 strong. We are bursting at the seams. Over the Christmas break, we actually had to have 2 trailers installed. So we are looking to continue to grow, and we like to grow by including you into our families. So Ms. Everett will tell you a little bit about enrollment at this time.
And just before I do a little bit about enrollment, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I came from healthcare, many years in healthcare, and I transitioned over to education about 10 years ago, right? 10 years. I started out as a pre-K 3 teacher at Ann Mears, then I moved into kindergarten, and then I moved to 2nd grade. So eventually 8 years, 3 years ago, I moved into the director of logistics. But teaching was an awesome experience at Mears, coming from a healthcare background of more than, 30 years. I just told my age. But it's okay, I enjoyed it immensely. And I still enjoy working with the teachers and supporting the teachers. Anything logistics, non-instructional, I take care of it for the school. Whether it's fundraising, I played a major part in making sure we had those trailers up and ready for our teachers when they came back. Anything to do with transportation, I assist with that, making sure our students are safe every day. But, and a major part of my job is enrollment. This is the time of the year where we're doing enrollment. Just to give you a little history, we have from pre-K 3 all the way to 5th grade. We have 3 classes of each except for 4th, right? 3 of each except for 4th grade class. And Ms. Hayes will tell you some of the things that we offer, but I'm going to talk about enrollment. Enrollment has already opened for the lottery, as you already know. We had an Ed Fest the first weekend of December. Did any of you attend the Ed Fest? Yes. Okay, awesome. We were there. Ed Fest is awesome. We have it every year. I enjoyed. My teachers volunteer. They come in. They had so much fun with Ed Fest. So we just really love Ed Fest, and we enjoy that. So for 3-year-olds, 3 and 4-year-olds must be 3 or 4 by September 30th. In order to come into school as a 3-year-old or 4, you must be that age, 3 or 4, pre-K 4, by September 30th. You can't, anything after that, you will have to wait till the following next year. So that's important. Also, with you must provide proof of residency. Not your salary, we just need proof of residency that you are a resident of DC. It has nothing to do with your salary. For instance, health records are important. We must have your health records when you enroll at Ann Mears. Birth certificate is required. They have different types of birth certificate, but we need the one that shows the parent and the child. They have those short ones, they have the cards, but we have to have the one that says the parent's name and the child name on the birth certificate. Also, some of the deadlines. For pre-K 3 to 8th grade, the deadline is March 1st to apply. The lottery will release those names on March 29th. So therefore, and once the names are released, because you can select 4 or 5 schools, up to 10 schools, I believe, in the lottery, up to 10. The enrollment, once you have been selected, whatever school you decided, and you've been selected by the lottery, you have until May 1st to enroll in that particular school. Otherwise, you have to start the process all over again and go back through and reapply. Any questions about the enrollment process? And everything is online at mysschooldc.org, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with. mysschooldc.org. It walks you through all the steps online. But I can answer any other questions you may have. Yes?
I'm curious about the in-boundary for Ambiers, and where's the dividing line between, say, Randall Highlands and Ambiers?
There's a website, you go online and you put in your address and it tells you exactly if you're in boundary. On that same website I just gave you, you can put in your address and it specifies exactly which school you're in boundary with. So there's no question about it whatsoever. And we use that same site when a parent walk in, we always double check to make sure. So if you go online, if you have any problems, you can call, I'll give you the telephone number, 202-888-6336. And if you can't find it, call the school and we will call Ambiers and we will go in and look it up for you. and give you the information. So if you know, oh, I don't know where it is, just call the school, tell us what you need, and we'll key it right in there for you and tell you. Okay? Yes.
This isn't a question, but I just wanted to follow up, just out of curiosity, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. It seems though, if you are out of boundary, that you could still go through the lottery, and you would likely still be able to get in.
Right. We have preferences. The first preference, which is set by DCPS, not MBS, is in fact our siblings. Siblings get the first preference. Depends on how many siblings you are placed first on the list. Siblings is a preference. The second preference is in boundary, and everything else falls, and you may end up on a wait list. And for my pre-K 3 and 4, normally we have hundreds of students on that wait list. And we only have so many seats. Our class ranges from 15 to 16 students in those classes. And each one of those classes come with a teacher and a paraprofessional. We have 2 pre-K 3s, 2 pre-K 4s. We have a combo 3 and 4. Everybody loves the combo 3 and 4. But based on federal government, we can only have so many students in those classrooms. So normally there's a long waiting list to get in our classes. And we wish we had more space, but unfortunately we don't have the space right now to accommodate more 3 and 4s. But normally there is really a long list to get in. I never have a problem filling those seats, never.
How about the other grades? Is there a wait list for the older grades as well, beyond 3 and 4?
Typically initially, but they usually move through pretty quickly.
Yeah, I have one question. You said the order is siblings first, then in boundary. So in boundary is not
siblings first.
Suppose you don't have any.
I'm sorry?
The hours for the children at that age.
Oh, what are our hours? Oh, it's all day.
It's all day for the children?
I got it walked over now. Ours is half day. But it's from 8:15. School opens at 8:15 to 3:15 dismissal. And we have after school. Which Ms. Hayes will go over some of the things we offer. We have after school that runs until 6 p.m. There is an application process, and we only have so many slots, but normally we have at least 200 slots in our after school program.
Is that a DCPS free after program, or is it a fee based? So it's a free after.
Yes. And we don't per se offer before care, but we refer our parents to St. Timothy, because a lot of our parents say, well, we need before care. Before 8 o'clock. So we refer them to St. Timothy's, which is right down the street. A lot of our children go there, and they drop them off, and they pick them up in the afternoons. But some of them go to St. Timothy's as well, but after school. But we have so much to offer. I'm on Ms. Hayes talking about some of the wonderful things that we offer. Oh, it's amazing. All right, don't take our data. Because it is a lot that we offer.
I can be real long-winded, that's why she's saying that.
No, we really do.
But to start off with then, we also have what's called a BOX program. Don't even ask me what BOX stands for, but it is an athletic program that is a type of before care. And so our PE teacher and typically a couple of other teachers will run that, and I think that starts at 7:30 in the morning. And but it is application and first come, first serve, and I think they usually cap it at about 30 students. But that's also an option. And some years we have staff members who may agree to contract, but that's not through the school, that's just through parents and staff member working it out, where they will have a type of before care. But again, that's not run through BEERS or through DCPS, but that's another option. We do have a lot of wonderful things from the aftercare program. I'll start at the end and work backwards. The aftercare program has a chess club. It has yoga, cooking class, something new I just saw that they were starting.
The work with the garden, the cooking.
Yeah, they do all kinds. It's a DCPS designed aftercare. But our aftercare coordinator is wonderful at bringing in, establishing partnerships. And so she brings in different things that are unique to BEERS. Also in the afternoon we have markets. We have the Farm Fresh is on the second Wednesdays of each month. It's open to everyone, so feel free to come. It usually starts at 3:30, and it's You know, there are always chefs who come and give demonstrations, and this was born out of Martha's Table for the community, and it runs all year round. We even do it in the summer. And then separate from that, but equally as exciting, we have something that's called Food Prints, and that was born out of our outdoor garden, our exploration. It was a grant that the Hilton Corporation did for us about, what, 3 or 4 years ago. And it is up on a hill in the back of the school, but on the school grounds, a fabulous garden. And it is run by our awesome science teacher. Do you remember Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Harris runs it. She is still there. And Ms. Harris is fabulous with getting us all types of grants. So she got the grant with the Hilton Corporation, and literally hundreds of Hilton Corporation employees came in their jeans, their sweats, their work, and they built that. And it just had heretofore been just a mound up on top of some bricks. And they brought in construction, and those people worked for days, and it is a fabulous garden now. And so we grow our own fruits and vegetables. And then the Food Prints coordinator comes, and she's started out as a parent volunteer, and she was so good that I think she gets a little stipend for it now. And she goes from pre-K 3 classrooms through 5th grade, teaching them healthy eating habits and how to use our grown fruits and vegetables from the garden. They learn how to plant them, they learn how to water them and grow them, then they learn how to pick them, and they learn how to cook with them. From 3 years old all the way up, and it is fabulous. And so I follow the cart around every Friday because it's always something great to eat. They even had me, I did not like beets, but I even ate a beet salad that was really good.
Really good.
Changed my whole outlook. And so some of the other programs that we have a top-rated ECE program, first of all, and that's why it is fairly difficult to get into. This year was our first year being tagged as a lab school, which means we are a type of demonstration school to show how early childhood education really should look. And so teachers in training, departments in training from other schools will come to observe our teachers and see what top-notch ECE, early childhood education, looks like. And the curriculum that we use is called, I can't even think. Yeah, it's creative. It's just called creative curriculum. So if you want to go online to look at it to get an idea of what they do. And they believe in teaching through exploration and learned play. And it has a lot of language to it, and teaching children how to use their vocabulary to communicate. So it is something, if you have students that age, I would advise you, if you're interested, to go to the lottery earlier rather than later. The early bird is the worm. We also have our special subject classes, of course, that all students go through from pre-K 3 on up: physical education, Spanish, science, media, music. That's 5, yeah. I'm missing something. Art. And we don't have a special one, because Ms. Harris is our science teacher / coordinator. And when DCPS was funding STEM, we were a huge STEM school, so we still do STEM on a school level. So even though it is not an initiative that DCPS funds or pushes, we still believe in STEM, and we still have STEM nights, and we still have various STEM programs. And so when they go to science, they get the mathematics portion of STEM in that. We have a good-sized population of students with IEPs. We always joke and say that there is a billboard somewhere in the city with flashing lights that says, if your child needs to be loved and needs special attention and has an IEP, bring them to Beers. Because we truly get students from all over. And we do have, I'm not patting myself on the back, but we do have a great reputation for bringing out the best. academically and behaviorally in students, because we do pride ourselves in maintaining a family atmosphere. I just had a conversation with some 5th graders this morning, 2 students of which came to us new this year. And one little boy had told us about how he's a 5th grader now, and we are the 6th school that he's been to in his life. And he and I had spent some time together Friday, and he said, Miss Higgins, this is the first school where somebody actually acts like they care about me all the time. And I say, I may not like all that you do, and I may implement some tough love, but I love all my students. That's why I've been here for 17 years. So, and our Principal Payton, has been there 11 years. So we've got long-standing teachers. We've got teachers who, if you can remember Miss Harris, you know how long she's been there. And she'll talk about retiring. I'm getting too old for this, but she is fabulous, as are all the teachers. And so our teachers run the gamut. We've got young, energetic teachers, and I'll say to them, okay, I used to could do that, but I'm admitting my age now, so you do that for me, and we'll get it done. And we do a lot with training other teachers. We have a partnership with UDC, a partnership with George Washington, a partnership with Georgetown to train teachers. We have something that's called, Urban Teacher Residence. And they come in and they spend the first semester as a paraprofessional. And then the second semester, they go in and they serve as, they actually teach lessons. And the first one that we had is now a full-time teacher there, and she last year was voted DCPS's first year teacher of the year. And she had award-winning scores as well. So she can back up truly. And it's a pleasure to watch them grow. We also have trained principals in training. And so there are, currently 4 principals in DCPS that Principal Payton and I train. We have different programs. We are a flamboyant school, which means we do family engagement. And we don't do traditional parent-teacher conferences. We do what's called academic parent-teacher conferences. And it's team meeting, so that all the parents for students on that grade level come together. And we build community and help parents to network so that you don't have to rely on your student to bring home. You can talk to parents, you can reach out to other parents, and it builds community among the parents. It has worked well. We've done that. This is our 8th year, I think, and it's been very successful, highly successful. And for the students during the day, we have extracurricular activities like skiing. We do hand dancing on Fridays. We have Exploration Day, which is the last Friday of every month, where we shut down traditional learning, and students all learn through playing games, building things, doing experiments, lab work, all of that. Everything that is non-traditional way of learning. That's what we push for the entire day. The students love it. We are a uniform school, and so also on that day, the last Friday of every month, is a relaxed dress day. So they like being able to wear something other than the uniform and get down and dirty and doing that.
And can I talk about my favorite activity? Oh, when I was a teacher, we started ballet. Oh my goodness. I remember the first time I went to the Nutcracker, you thought I was the 4-year-old, the 5-year-old, the 6-year-old. Oh, I love it. And now I'm not a teacher anymore, but I beg the guys, can I go with you? Can I go to Nutcracker? So they let me go every other year now, since I don't teach. Because I'm the one that got to make sure that the logistics work for them. Oh, we just love the ballet. Even the guys. And some of our students have gotten scholarships for ballet. Oh, it's just so wonderful.
We have a partnership with Washington Ballet. And so they come in and teach. The first semester they start with 3rd graders, and then the second semester they move to 2nd graders. And the kids are fabulous, and she is right. The boys enjoy it as much as the girls, and they are good. These kids really get into it. We also have GC Scores, soccer, And so in the off season for playing soccer, they do a poetry club. And so we have trophies where we have won poetry slams as a result of that. We just had, I have to say that we do an annual spelling bee, and then I'm going to stop. I told you I was long-winded. We just had a spelling bee, and of course any student can try out, can audition to be in the spelling bee. And we start off with probably about 100 kids and dwindle down. And I want you all to know a second grader won the spelling bee. She beat out all these fifth graders who have been in beers for years. That little girl was spelling her rear end off. And so we have a lot of programs like that. We do dances the end of each month or movie days. So it's not all about them being tied to a desk and a chair to do the traditional learning. We try to do as much that incorporates fun into learning as possible. So that, oh yeah, and then we have a partnership with the Nats Baseball Academy. So I don't know if you're familiar with the academy over, what is that, Eli Place. And so we have a group of kids who go there for aftercare and that. And it also spans in the summer too. And so that works well. And then we have traditional teachers, and we have a psychologist on staff, we have 2 social workers, we have a behavior tech, we have award-winning custodians. People come to Beers and they always talk about how clean it is. And that's, yes, we have 2 instructional coaches, one of which was a Beers student herself years ago, and her 2 kids, and now her grandson goes here. Yes. And she actually grew up in the Penn Branch neighborhood. And so one of our social workers and our psychologists both come from the neighborhood. Yeah. And a few of our parents already live in this neighborhood. So that's Beers. Oh, I knew I'm not going to say this, and then I promise you I'm finished. We have also something with the National Museum of Art called Art Around the Corner. And so every Thursday, some of our 4th and 5th graders go. And it is the best program. These students learn all about art, and they really come back with a genuine appreciation for art. And it culminates in a project, and then the museum will send at the end, it's usually in May, they actually send chartered buses for all of the students and all of their family members, as many as they like, to go, and they have this, they shut down the museum to nothing but the students and their families. It is fabulous. Fabulous. And so if you come to Beers and you walk down the main hall, you will see some of the artwork that they've done. Okay, I quit.
I do have an open house on Thursday, so you're welcome to come out to my open house on Thursday, but it's 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. in the morning. That's scheduled. Because once we had our Ed Fest, before we had Ed Fest, I had to schedule 4 open houses for our parents to come in to see the school. So you're welcome to come out to that on Thursday.
So thank you. Any questions?
I have one comment.
Yes.
I just want to piggyback on your track right there. When Shannon,
Can you use the mic?
oh,
We can't hear.
use the mic.
Use the mic. Sorry.
Use the mic.
Come on, come up here.
She's up there now. But anyway, no, what I was saying is, Ann Beers really does have a good track record. Shannon went to Ann Beers, and at one point in my life, I decided I'm going to take her out of Ann Beers and put her closer to where I was working, and I was working up at UDC, and there was a school up there, and so when I put her in there, the teacher said, no, the principal said to me, why did you bring her over here? Because we bus our kids to Ann Beers. So it really does have a good track record. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
The check is in the mail.
I have one question.
Sure.
What happened with the NASA program?
You know what funding was? DCPS decided that it was not something they wanted to sustain. And so Ms. Harris all but single-handedly continued to get grants. But all the contacts that she had with NASA retired. Yeah, and so it sort of fell
but we kept it for as long as we could. And we still have some remnants. You go into our science lab, you will see the remaining portions of the shuttle, because we once had a shuttle, she can tell you, a shuttle in there. And it was a fabulous program that, you know, we're not going to totally give up on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies, so much. Yeah, I have fond memories of the astrology room in the stars. So next, I have a representative from Planet Fitness, T. Anderson, and she's going to get up and tell you guys all the good information about Planet Fitness. So come on, T.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Like she said, I'm T. Anderson. I've been with Planet Fitness
Mike, just speak in the mic, please.
for about 10 years now. So I first started at Penn Station, which would be on the intersection of Silver Hill and Pennsylvania Avenue, as their fitness trainer when they opened up October of 2010. It was not something that I had planned on doing, but I kind of wanted to get away from corporate. Stayed with Planet Fitness 2 years and then I left, came back. I ran the Laurel location, which is off of Fort Meade Road. I ran the Gaithersburg location, which is off of Muddy Branch. Went back to Penn Station as a GM for 4 years, and once I found out they were bringing a gym to DC, I put my name on it automatically. The very first one they opened was the New York Avenue location. Somebody beat me out for that one. So I waited patiently. 2 years ago, I found out they were bringing this location in Southeast, and I was on it. I was like, this is where I need to be at. I used to live right here off of Branch and Wooddale. I live over by the shrimp boat now, and I'm like, this is where I need to be at. This is where I want our face to be. So I'm going to say maybe July of this year, I left Penn Station and I started the construction and the transition with the location here. I see a lot of familiar faces, some of them members, some people that come by the pre-sale office and visited. Our memberships are a little different from most facilities. I can honestly say it's been an up and down roller coaster since October when we opened the doors to the pre-sale office to get the community familiar with the facility. I think our biggest hang-up was daycare. Unfortunately, we battled with Planet Fitness for quite some time when it comes to daycare, and they look at it as an entity when they first opened. What is the necessity when it comes for general fitness? Are people still willing to come if they didn't have daycare? That's why we were allowed to, our prices to be so low for so long. Another big thing was the classes. The classes that when I first started were more general fitness. They didn't have any group classes, and all the classes were done in the morning, which didn't benefit the people that got off work. In running Penn Station, we did change it a little bit, but when I came here, I said we needed evening classes. So our classes run up to 9 o'clock on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. That Pennsylvania Avenue corridor is something to be preyed upon sometimes. So I figured a lot of people get stuck in traffic, can't get to the classes. So we do have our trainer, Walter, who is amazing. I would have loved to bring him with me, but he's there doing classes right now. I got there at 7 o'clock this morning. We did Bagel Tuesday for the community as well as for members. We had bagels. Everything got delivered from Panera Bread. Last night we did Pizza Monday for members and the community, just so you guys can come in, take a tour, get to know us as staff. The one thing that I kind of pride myself on is knowing people. Knowing people. His son goes to Duke Ellington, and I knew it as soon as I talked to him. I said, you have to go to Duke Ellington. My daughter went to Duke Ellington. It's something that you see. I see people that I've recognized from the community because I'm always out here. Planet Fitness does offer classes now. So the class schedule is a little different than it used to be. We do some more group classes, which is our TRX, which is your suspension training. We also have our 360, which is a total body workout that deals with kettlebells, Bosu balls, medicine balls, yoga balls. We now have the row machine, so he does a lot of cardio based. You gotta remember, general fitness always starts with cardio. That doesn't necessarily mean you always have to be on a piece of cardio equipment, but you should be doing some form of cardio, walking, running, things of that nature. Right now, we have a special going on that everybody's seen on TV, $1 down, $10 a month. That membership will give you 24/7 access to our facility, all the equipment, the trainer, and the classes. All of that is included in that membership. It is a no commitment, meaning you can cancel it at any time. There's no hiccups, there's no catches. If you don't like it after a month and you want to cancel it, just come on in, sign the document, and you are done. My goal is to make sure you stay. I am one of, even though I am the general manager, I am also one of the lead trainers. So there are days like today, I was out there at 8 o'clock this morning doing a class. Our classes don't start until 1 o'clock on Tuesdays. But I had a group of seniors that came in and they were really unfamiliar with what they were doing. So I put them in that 30-minute circuit, changed my clothes, I was in my trainer's outfit for 30 minutes, you know, so it's about giving our members what they want, what they need. And sometimes that means acting outside the pocket. Any particular questions, anything anybody needs me to go over directly? Yes.
How do you transfer your membership from one place to another?
Okay. As long as you've been at the club, your current club, for at least 90 days, you can come into any club and transfer on the iPads, or you can do it online at planetfitness.com. You select member login and then transfer. Yes, ma'am.
Do you guys offer, or you think about offering Zumba?
That was something that we did discuss coming to Penn Branch, because there was a smaller space that they had opened right next to us. Corporate fought us on that tooth and nails. I was like, we can do that as a separate entity, but we couldn't link it to Planet Fitness. Yes?
I have a teenager who's really interested. What are your guidelines on kids, teens? What are the age
The $10 membership can be held by as young as 16. If you get the black card, it allows you to bring a guest with you. That one's $21.99, and the guest can be as young as 13. But they have to, between 13 and 15-year-old, they have to stay with an adult. Now that could be with whoever brings them, or you can place them in a class with a trainer. They just need to be monitored. Okay. Well, we are a 24-hour establishment, so you can come in and sign in, take a tour at any time. The one thing that I did do is we went down to 60, talked to a lot of the officers. We allowed the first 25 officers to come and sign up memberships for free. So a lot of the times you'll see them frequenting our...
I just thought about last night.
So that was one of the things that I really wanted to get out there, because that was one of the things that I was asked about a lot when it came to the pre-sale office. Because I was in the pre-sale office for quite some time by myself, and people would just come in and talk to me, let me know what they needed in the facility, and that was one. They were worried about security. So you'll find that they sign in when they're in the building, whether they're in your uniforms or they're just coming in to work out. You'll see them parked outside in their cruisers. One lady walked in, she said, "Is there an incident? There's 2 cop cars." I said, "No, they're in here working out." You know, so just because you see them don't mean that there's an incident, just is making sure that there's not going to be. Yes. If you guys have visited other Planet Fitnesses outside of the Penn Branch location, I just ask that you come in and see what we offer. It took me going to Washington State 3 different times to figure out what I wanted this Planet Fitness to look like. It looks like none of the other facilities. Yes, the equipment is set up similar. We don't even have the same equipment as other clubs. And that was something they wanted to try that was a little different. When I got offered to go ahead and take over this location, I was able to tap into the trainer and meet and figure out what we needed. We needed the rowers, we needed resistance bands, we needed yoga balls, medicine balls, Bosu balls, things that would get people off the equipment and being a little bit more active, a little bit more space to do exercises. And so if you get an opportunity to visit different clubs, do so, but also come and see what we have. Because I pride myself on making it look a little upclass. One of the young ladies came in, she works for the mayor's office, and she said, "This doesn't look like you would pay $10 for it." Yeah. You know, and a lot of people, and the one member was, you know, they're always saying, "Why would you put this in Southeast? Why not?" That was my question. She asked me why, and I said, "Why not? I mean, we all deserve it." So I'm just grateful to have the opportunity to be there. Like I said, I've been with the company almost going on 10 years in March, and my thing is, I guess my gift is the gift to help people. And I didn't want to teach anymore because I used to be a teacher at John Burroughs Elementary School in Northeast, and that drained me. Coming from Syracuse, New York to DC was a big change, and the kids were a lot different. So after my 3 years was up, I was like, this is not for me, I need to go somewhere else. I know it is, I'm a teacher, so being able to teach and train my staff, I've had 9 staff members go on to either be trainers or managers of other Planet Fitnesses. So, and then being able to get out and train and help people and see people's journey is amazing. If you guys ever come in, please introduce yourself. I'm always there, 7 to 7, every day, Monday through Friday. Yes?
people have ideas or requests for particular kinds of equipment or accessories, and they talk to you at the
I'm
club?
the person to go to.
Is there budget for that stuff in the future?
It sure is. I have really broken the bar. They gave me no budget, and when they realized what I had on my machine, on my list that they approved, they were shocked. They was like, how'd you get this past us? I said, you didn't check. You gave me no budget, and I wrote a list, and you stamped it approved, and I ordered it ASAP. So yes, I'm the one that will fly out if need be, scream, emails. I fight for what I think is the best for our building. So if you think of something, just let me know.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Well, I appreciate being able to come out. Hopefully I'll be able to come back out. I would love to get a list if email to me if everybody is out here, and then we will be giving away 3 Black Card memberships. I'm just going to randomly choose names. This will be for 1 full year. Black Card memberships meaning that you have 24/7 access to our facility, all the equipment, the training, the classes. You're able to visit any Planet Fitness you see nationwide. You're able to bring a guest and use the Black Card Spa. One of our favorites is our hydro beds, hydro loungers. So make sure you guys write your names down. An email address, you get that to me, and I will give away 3 memberships. Yeah, so and please stop by, let me know you're here, and I'll gladly come out and give a tour. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much, T, for coming. I personally saw the facility and I was floored. I was like, I think this is the best Planet Fitness that I've ever seen right here in Penn Branch. So please support, enroll, sign up. Even if you're not going to sign up, just go check out the facility. You won't be disappointed. I promise you that. And even at the Winter Bazaar, they were giving away free membership raffles, and a young lady won, and she was so happy with them. Actually, they gave away 4. Yeah, so you better sign up. New year, new you, right? That's right. Okay, so next I'm going to let Lieutenant Jameson come up and do the crime report. And I'll make sure we have a list set up in the back so everybody can write down their names and their emails, and I'll make sure T gets that information. And I'm going to make sure my name is up all up and down the whole list.
And I did go to the Planet Fitness last night, too. And I told my officer, no, I didn't work out, but I did walk around. You know. And yeah, and I told the officers, too, that, you know, they stop by, especially at the overnight hours. That's the hours I work, and that's why I stopped by at 2 o'clock this morning to let them know they would be around, and I'll tell the officers to check in with the staff there. And, you know, like she said, it's not like something's going on until you see the yellow tape. Then it might be something like this. But other than that, we just want to make sure they feel comfortable back there, and the people that come and vote also feel like they're safe to do that without, you know, having to be a victim. So, and that's good to have that, as long as the 7-Eleven on the top side of it as well. Let's get back to the crime. Depressing. Well, violent crime is down to 605, however. As you probably see on the news, crime is up in D.C. While I'm sitting right there, we just had another homicide at 16. I don't know the answer to it. Me and Roberto was talking about the one on Eli Place in Minnesota, you probably saw on the news. I went to Kim Elementary. My sister called me and said, that used to be the candy lady house back in the 70s. I'm telling you how old I am. Right. And I used to go to that house to buy candy before I went to school, so I grew up in 30-minute block of Crawford Place. The guy that got killed was a retired MPD civilian member, along with the lady that was in there. Without letting all the cats out of the bag, we do have an idea who did that. Okay. And that's pretty much all I can tell you right now without divulging anything, but I don't think the public has anything to worry about now. Put it that way. Okay. So, and along with other homicides in D.C., you know, homicides, I'll touch on a little bit. We don't have a lot in 605, thank God. But we do have a lot. It's like, I think we have 8 homicides in 8 days now. And that's a lot. That's a lot. So, you know, we'll try to get a handle on it. MPD spent a lot of money on overtime up to New Year's. I had additional 30 to 40 officers every night just on an overtime basis, along with the regular allotment of officers that work in this area. Try to help stem the flow of it. There's not always drugs like you hear on TV. There's domestic disputes. There, you know, stepped on my toe, that type of stuff, going back to the 90s. And hopefully we can get a handle on it before the summertime, because the summer's just around the corner. So I'm going to go through some of the crime stats in 605. We had two ADWs, one in the 2800 block of Penn and one in the 700 block of Burns. We had two robberies, 2800 block of N Street and the 2900 block of Nash. And this is over the past 30 days, for those who don't know, when we had two burglaries, 700 block of Bailey Lane from the Bailey Place and 3800 block of Coke. Now, on my last meeting, I was talking about crime and don't leave stuff in your cars, and Christmas was coming along. And what I'm about to tell you is the reason why I tell you that. Because the property crime was up by 62% because it was 25 theft models in 605. And that's way off the chart. It's usually about 7 or 8. It was 25 for the weeks leading up to Christmas. And the reason why that is that people were leaving stuff in their cars, and people going Christmas shopping in your car. And when I was reading the detailed reports last night before I prepared this, it was almost the same thing. I went shopping, I left the bag in for a minute, I went back to the house, came back, it was gone. So I always stress, do not leave valuables visible in your vehicle. Because like I said, people are up every night, going out with flashlights and backpacks, looking to steal stuff out of your cars. Now I live in Fairfax Village right up the street, so this affects me both professionally and personally. Because I take, I don't want my property values going down. I don't want the insurance company realizing my zip code cost me more money. So do not become a victim by leaving stuff in your car so people can come by and actually look at it and say, boom, this is the car. The cars that don't have nothing, not the one that get broken into. It's the stuff that have stuff in it they can see while walking around. So, and the only ones that was in the Penn Branch area was the two that happened on Highwood Drive. The rest of them like Southern Avenue and Minnesota Avenue and 4th DuPont up there where I live at. And I keep my car in the garage and I have a club on the steering wheel. And I said that all over and over again. I park at the police station, I go there and good at night. Right in the back of the police station, I'm putting a club on my steering wheel. That's because it's just habit that I do wherever I go. I have a 2011 Toyota Camry. I don't want to steal it, but they're easy to steal. So that's why I protect my stuff. And I urge you to do the same thing. A lot of these were delivery trucks, UPS and FedEx. 5 of these thefts were from those trucks. And during the holidays, people literally would drive around, follow these trucks. They drop the stuff on your porch. People come up and they take it. So please, I urge you that if you have stuff in your vehicles, laptops are being stolen, cash, jewelry. I mean, I don't have enough cash to leave in a car. So please, don't do that. Violent crime was down about 20%. But the overall crime rate was increased by these theft models that we had prior to Christmas and stuff. So, don't become a victim, try to protect yourself. Because like I said, there are people that get up every day or every night, and the only thing they got on their mind is robbing you. And we do it all the time. Just like a minute ago, we had a homicide in Margate Park over Division Avenue. And it's a never-ending cycle. We don't know the motor vehicle, the one on Eli, Minnesota yet. They were suffocated, beaten, tied up, bound, gagged, some stuff that you just seen in movies. And I don't know where these people got it. And then there was a house across the alleyway that was set on fire at the same time. But that was the suspect's mother's house. So if you didn't know that. So, yeah. So that's why I say we already know who we got. So I just said that, be careful out there. Violent crime in DC is a little bit up right now. We will try to get a hold on it. We have different deployment strategies. Like I said, we're using overtime. Officers are a little drained because after you work 10 hours, you got to work 8 more. Go home, get 8 hours sleep, come back, do 18 more hours. It can drain you. Luckily I live close by. I can do that and get some sleep. But some people live, far away. Some officers live 90 minutes away, believe it or not. And you have to come back and do that and stuff. But they do it. And they persevere. So we need your help in not trying to become a victim. And then you hold us responsible because we tax dollars paid for. It's paid for the police to be out there to prevent this stuff. And then when it does happen, we need to be to catch the people that did it. But I prefer you not to be a victim first. Then we have to come lately and try to, patch it up. Okay. Any questions? My friend lady back there. Go ahead.
There's been still cars being left right in front of Memorial Park. There's still cars being left in front of Memorial Park. Yep. Okay. One is ticketed now, but it's still been there 2 weeks, and that continues to be an ongoing issue. Okay. And then, is there activity going on in the park? Because I see police kind of stationed in the park. Okay.
There's not activity going on in the park, but we were, I can tell you now because it's over with.
Okay.
But we were watching something.
Were you watching what I hope you were watching?
What you know I was watching though?
What's going on my street?
No, but it was, I can tell you this was something involving homicides.
Yes.
Multiple. That's why we were sitting there.
I was gonna say.
Not that it was happening in that neighborhood, but a possible suspect was there. That's why we were sitting there.
Less comforting.
Okay. So that's interesting, considering my street.
Right.
But we also know that there's a menace situation.
Oh, Carpenter?
No.
33? Okay.
No, this is still on O Street.
Okay.
That we've had the police show up multiple times and do, whoever the people are to come and get
Oh,
us.
so that house, I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
I know what you're talking about. I will talk to you offline about what's going on with that. Okay?
Okay, thank
you. Anybody else? Yes,
So
ma'am.
where's that park you were mentioning? You mentioned the park.
Yeah, it's right there. Anybody else?
Where the flag is.
Yeah.
Would you mind just sharing what you're discussing for the benefit of the rest of the community members who are here?
Well, I'm not going to talk about a ongoing police investigation.
Well, we understand that.
And that's all I can say on that. Okay, because I don't know, I'm talking to an open audience here, and I'm not going to compromise anything.
Well, we're not even aware of what the issue is. Can you just tell us what that
Can I tell them in general terms?
Go ahead.
The cars are being brought. Joe Blow is visiting Wowo in the 3300 block, which is at the corner. They're coming from the 3 jurisdictions, but they leave the car there. So they go in the house and they spend some time doing whatever young people do these days, and then they leave the vehicle. Our problem, and I'm working with the legislative committee to address the fact that it's been there 2 weeks. Our government passed this stupid law that you have to ticket for 30 days before we could get them towed right away. So now the car's been there 2 weeks, it's in the system, and will be towed within the next 8 days. But we have to be good neighbors and be aware of what's going on in our individual blocks and report it directly to Lieutenant Jameson, and then we can get rid of some of these issues. But mostly it's that kind of tactics, okay?
And you have something like needs immediate attention, by all means, dial 911.
Yes.
Okay. There won't be no delay in the police response. Okay. Anything else?
What was the final outcome of the part that people that were taking tires?
Tires? Oh, did I discuss that already?
You brought it up.
Yeah, we did a search warrant. Yeah, okay. Well, those who don't know, we did a search warrant. She's talking about we had a lot of theft from autos where people's rims and tires were being stolen in this area. And we did a search warrant over on our 48th place in Sheriff Road, where we recovered 60 tires and rims out of the basement of the house. And we made 1 arrest on that. And we didn't have any sense. The guy to be locked up said, "You don't know where the tires came from." But they're in your house, in your basement. I can't make this up. We also recovered out in his backyard the van used to do this. With the jacks, and the center box, and all this other stuff. But you don't know how he got it. Okay, well, you're going to jail for tonight. Figure it out with you and your attorney. So after we made that arrest and did that search warrant, we covered all those rims. Like I said, it was 60. It was like walking to Sears Tire Center. There was that many. Rims worth thousands of dollars. And I said in the last meeting, when you buy these high-end rims, sometimes they give you a serial number. And what the unit that did the search warrant is doing is trying to match the serial numbers on the reports that were taken from the rims that were stolen. I hope they get the rims and the tires back to the right owners, provided that the insurance company didn't pay it off first. But the insurance company paid it off, then it goes to the insurance company, and they'll tell us how they want to dispose of it. Okay. So that's how that works. Just like a stolen car. Right. Anything else? No? All right, well, I'm going to let you hear from me first. I'm retiring from MPD in May.
No.
After 30 years and 3 months, it's time to go. But I'll be here until that time. Thank you. I'm not going to be there if I own my property now. I'm not going to somebody else. But I'll be here until that time when I'll be leaving.
So you can still come to me.
Oh, absolutely. I'm coming to meetings, but this time I'll be sitting there and I'll be badgering the police department. Or stuff that I do know. All right.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
I'm selfishly upset. We will truly miss you. But we have you until May, so all is well. Next, I'll allow Tawana Banks to come up to do our treasurer report.
Okay, good evening. This is the treasury report for the month of December. The beginning balance was $1,987.13. During the Christmas party, we received $10 in a donation from a neighbor. The gift basket was auctioned off. We made $185 on the gift basket. Membership, we collected $240 from the neighbors. And we paid out $50 for the janitorial services. So currently we have a balance in the Penn branch account of $2,372.12.
All who accept the minutes, treasury report as presented, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
All who oppose, treasury report accepted as presented.
And just to let you all know that the donation and the membership tab on the Penn branch website is now working. If you want to do a 1-year membership, it's $20. If you want to do a 2-year membership, it's $40. It's all for a family of 4. And we also have new membership cards. So you can either see me if you're interested in getting a card.
And you only need 1 card.
Right, yeah, 4.
Thank you, Tawana.
Thank you. Okay. Jacqueline actually caught the flu bug, so she's not here tonight, and I told her keep her germs home because I didn't want her getting any of our elderly sick. So next, Cal, I'll let you come up and discuss VDOT's response.
All right, just a couple more quick updates. I mentioned that a group of neighbors is working with the District Department of Transportation on the Pennsylvania Avenue, Minnesota Avenue intersection improvement project. The status of that engagement right now is that we sent a letter to DDOT on behalf of the community. They reviewed it and they're prepared to meet with a group from our community. We're setting up that meeting now. It should be within the next week or 2, and we'll report back at the next meeting. Some of the concerns that were raised were about bus access, pedestrian, cyclist safety, and the park spaces that are planned around that community. The second thing that I'll update on is the bylaws for PBCCA. We're working on updating those, and we're trying to secure some pro bono legal assistance from the DC Pro Bono Center. That should also happen within the next month or 2. We'll report back to the group. I think there will be opportunities during that process for the general membership to consider any amendments and changes to the bylaws and vote on them, to accept them before we go forward with a new draft. Any questions on either of those things?
I don't have a question. I would like to make a motion that if you have the bylaws, and they're a very simple document, not to exceed 8 pages, and you have an organization who, quote, has expertise, I would recommend that they come to, we can just have a meeting where they come here and walk us through the bylaws. And before we have the meeting, everybody in the community via listserv get the current one and we ask them to look at it carefully, to look at what issues they might consider we need to change, update, make it current. I would rather us do that, and only because, Cal, we've done this 3 times before Jimmy, 3 other presidents, and they came and they told us what they were going to do. They never came back with the bylaws. They never. I don't know what happened. I'm not saying the current group there would do the same thing, but I make a motion. It's our bylaws. This community should be an integral part of reviewing and making any change that impact us. That's the motion I make.
So what I'm
that's
hearing
how
is
it's done.
if we can get them, which I think they will offer us legal assistance, then we invite them to come to a meeting. Before that meeting, everybody in the community gets an opportunity to review.
Yes.
And then all in one discussion, we talk with them. And then after that, we'll have a draft of the new bylaws that people can say up or down.
Yeah, because you have a laptop. If we can read 2 or 3 more laptops, I'll give you some more Wi-Fi.
You're requesting a separate meeting from the general body meeting to meet with whoever the pro bono person is.
I think that the document is simple. It doesn't require a lot of legal input, but it helps, because then you know when you submit your report to IRS and to DCRA that they will bless it and take your money. They're going to take your money anyway. So we need to do it here and do it timely. We played with this for 11 years. Let's get it done. Let's have them bring their own laptop with that document set up on it, and we feed into them what we want. They make the changes and tweet it. They send it back to us, and that's the end of that story, and we move forward. Because the second part is confirming that we are currently active with IRS, my favorite organization, and DCRA. And basically what I'm saying is every 2 years, there's a 501(c)(3), we're obligated to pay. IRS had gone up to $150 every 2 years to be a nonprofit, so that you can benefit off of doing grants, benefit off of doing fundraisers. And the piece I want them to do for us is tweak it. We didn't do something that didn't tweak it so that we could get tax exempt cards that you would have, the board members would have. So if you went out to buy something, you wouldn't pay taxes at Walmart and Target's. So I would like us to do it that way. That we all are part of it. This is our little community, and they just guide us in the process.
Anybody have any concerns or objections? Otherwise,
Just a question: is it a separate meeting, or
no? This meeting.
Part of this meeting?
It'll be a part of this meeting where everybody comes naturally anyway. The second.
We'll discuss it. I'm a little hesitant about too many hands in the pot, because that could work against us. So we'll discuss it in the executive body meeting, and we'll move forward from there.
Oh, I don't have a problem with that. I think you'll find that 99% of the people will take the guidance from the expert that Cal has recommended. Most people won't even say anything, because as you can see, I've been at it for 44 years. And when we were doing it before, I brought the experts here and did it that way. Baby, ain't nobody sitting up but the experts, and we went and we signed off on it. I don't think you're going to get that. We're doing it. You're doing an excellent job. Let's keep the train moving.
Okay.
Let's get the train moving.
We're going to get it done, don't worry.
Let's get this train moving.
That's for sure.
Okay.
all right. Any other questions on any of those? All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, Ms. Pauls, you have some Public Works Committee stuff you want to discuss?
Yes.
Okay, and make sure, because Stan and Allison have something to say too. You know how you do.
I don't know. I'm going to be short and sweet.
Again, I'm Albert Paul, Public Works Committee. And we got lots of new neighbors here tonight, so I want to say hello to all of my new neighbors. Can they take there's 4 of them.
Yes.
Can you jump up and just holler out your name and your location? Come on, new neighbors. Oh, I'm telling you, you're making me feel young. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, I know you're going to join the Public Works Committee. Okay. Yes, I can.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Juman, and
I'm Joy.
yeah.
And where are you?
We are at the bottom of Highwood.
Right next to the sign.
Right next to the circle? Oh, no, the other bottom.
Oh, near Branch.
Yeah, Branch side of bottom.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Louise Good. I've been in the neighborhood for about a year, but tonight is the first night I've come to the meeting. I'm the fiance of William Lewis. He's a Hopkinton Street resident, so I feel like I'm being added to the neighborhood. So thank you.
Hi there, my name is Jonathan Hurdy, and my wife and our 2 daughters moved to Highwood Drive at the end. There's a cul-de-sac in late November, and we've been humbled and really enjoyed the welcome we've received, and glad to be part of the Penn Branch community.
Well, welcome. Welcome.
Hello, my name is Star Harris. I'm here with my husband, Danelle Harris, and the Harris family, and we are on Pennsylvania Avenue, next to the Penn Branch Shopping Center.
Welcome. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Sidia Pinarbasi. I'm here with my husband, Mehmet. We moved in a couple of months back. We're on 35th at the cul-de-sac. I'm next door to Mr. Kelly.
Oh, okay.
Again, welcome. So everybody's job is to bring one new neighbor next month. As I indicated very quickly, the Public Works Committee works on all of the infrastructure issues and concerns of the neighborhood with the agencies such as DC Water, DC Department of Transportation, DCRA, etc. There are multiple projects taking place on Interstate 295. I'm going to be very brief and let you know that you are going to have to, if you're moving along that corridor in the AM rush to get to work, you need to give yourself 45 minutes more. So if you usually leave at 6, leave at 5:30. Because we have somehow miraculously gotten $2 billion to improve the I-295 corridor. One of the projects, and many of the sheets are on the table, you can pick them up on your way out. South Capitol Street Bridge is being redone. It started 8 months ago. It will continue for 5 years. 3 bridges over Anacostia, near Nicholson Street, which is close to the entryway of the Anacostia Park. For those of you who go through the park with your bikes, that project started at the same time as South Cap, but will be completed in May 2019 of this year. So it's not going to take a long time. The next project that's going to give you the blues is I-295 Kenilworth, heading toward East Capitol Street. And remember, I told you in October what they're going to do is do what the state of Virginia does. We're going to start putting data on the lane that disappears, because right there is where you have the highest number of collisions, because people wait till they get almost under the East Capitol Street Bridge sign, 295 South, and try to jump back to the left because, oh, I don't want to go, I don't want to take that exit. So that project will start in the next 45 days and run for 18 months. The 4th project on the interstate, y'all better for these projects. We got them, we finally got them, okay? The next project we have out there on the interstate is called Malcolm X Interchange. And it will run for 4.5 years because it is creating 6 bridges that don't exist in the District of Columbia today. The Malcolm X Interstate Interchange Project, its mission is to keep people on the interstate, whether they're coming from Maryland or Virginia, but they work at the new U.S. Homeland Security building. That project is 40.5 years. It is on the interstate just beyond Pennsylvania Avenue exit. The next project that is starting
in the next 4 weeks is Pennsylvania Avenue in Minnesota, just before you get to the interchange where you can get on 295 north or south. The last and sixth project that will start shortly after that will be the Sousa Bridge. On both sides of the Sousa Bridge, as I indicated in October, they are widening the sidewalk to give bikers and pedestrians more egress and ingress. They're working with Carl Racine to remove the handicapped lady off of the bridge so that your transit to and from will be more comfortable and you won't have to have the issue of the trash and so on. So again, there are multiple projects. They're on the DDOT website if you want to look at more detail, but let's not get into the congestion. It's going to be there. It's going to help you. At the end of the day, at 5 years out, you're going to be lost in terms of how you now can get around on that interstate with minimal problems, okay? The only other announcement I have is about the 911 park. Chris had to leave because the little one was a little antsy. The young man with the little baby named Matthew, he's looking for volunteers to work with him this Saturday morning to clear the park of the Christmas decorations. So please, let me know at Penn Branch 2005. Give me your name and number and I'll shoot it over to Chris. We should be able to have 5 gentlemen, preferably. We want to make the men work this year. To help Chris to clear the park. All they need to do also is bring a couple of rakes, rake any leaves and bag them and keep our park clear. We'll be giving you more information next month on details about grants we're working on for the park and about recreation we're setting up with DPR for the 34th Street Park for our young people. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Collins. Okay, now I'll let Stan come up and give us some updates, especially wildlands.
All right. Yes, hello.
Captain.
Yes, Dan, Captain. Yes. I'll start with the bad news. We had a fire over the weekend. Miss Jackie Jones over at Pope Street, 3500 blocks of Pope Street. Does anybody know Jackie Jones? Anybody? Because I can't get any information about her. Because all I do know is that she's in the hospital. She suffers some burns, and she's in the hospital. They happened on Sunday, and she's still there. So I guess as soon as we find out some information how we can help, we'll reach out and let you guys know. All right. Hey, for the last 4 months or so, due to the elections, the new shopping center, holidays, the Black Captain was passing out a fair amount of paperwork. So I'd just like to say thank you. All right. And let's see, another thing, I could use a Black Captain on O Street. So if anybody on O Street like to help out with the Black Captain duties, please let them know at O Street and also Pope Street from Nash to Bridge Avenue.
Pardon? You need a what?
Black Captain. And the main duty, or I think the hardest duty for a Black Captain is to pass out paperwork to the other residents on the street. Okay. That is all I have. Okay, and thank you.
Thank you, Stan.
Thank you, Sam. He's actually been very pivotal in helping us revamp our block captains work, and we're trying to engage more with neighbors. So if we have any volunteers for those 2 streets, please volunteer. Also, next I'll have Elsa Nash come up and talk to you all about some exciting stuff.
Yes. All right, I don't want to hold you all too long. Just a couple of key things. We've got the newsletter that comes out quarterly, so I work on the newsletter. If you have suggestions for articles, you can email me at elsonb13, that's ELSON, B as in boy, the number 13 at gmail.com. Definitely wanting to get the news out about the neighborhood. We'll work closely with Stan. I'm also a block captain as well. So we want to welcome the new neighbors once again. Make sure you get a newsletter. And then also, of course, membership. Number one, to make sure as our shopping mall is being developed, we have the opportunity to take advantage of that through the membership cards. So that is very important. The other piece that I'm working on is a farmer's market. So as Shannon talked about the holiday bazaar, we had the folks from Market 7, Mary Brown from Market 7, bring in some vendors. We will be working closely with Market 7 and also with a small farmer who has a farm in West Virginia to deliver a farmer's market for you. So we're working for or towards a Saturday farmer's market, which would be right near Fitness, our Planet Fitness. And the idea is, our hope is for us to be the most fit, right, neighborhood in DC. I think we can do it. We have the morning crew, Chris, and a bunch of other folks that work out in the morning between 5:30 and 7 at Planet Fitness. We have a number of seniors that are working out during the day. And both Shannon and I tag team to make sure that T is engaged and involved, and we're bringing services to you all. So please patronize Penn Branch. It is your shopping center. When we have the farmer's market, it is your shopping center. Soon to be, we won't say who it is because we don't know yet, but we hear that a coffee shop is coming. Patronize, because it's your shopping center. So we are working hard on behalf of all of you to make sure you get the services that you want in your community. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, I forgot to mention in my last update with Jair, they're actually trying to get the laundromat property out of their lease. And they're doing negotiations now, so they're hoping that maybe sometime this spring they'll know whether or not they'll be gone soon. So that was exciting news because that will free up more space to maybe get us something that we really want right there at that corner. So, and also make more parking available and so forth. Also, they're hoping by April 1st to have all the renovations done to the exterior. I don't know if you guys like our new sign. I do. It's very pretty and it lights up really well. They're currently trying to get vendors at the upper level of the shopping center. So they're in negotiations with that. And if you know any local business vendor or someone that's looking for space, definitely shop them around to possibly look to coming to this community. And that's pretty much it. And they also met their deadline as far as opening Planet Fitness. So kudos to them. They've been very communicative. And I do a check-in with them every now and again to ask them have they had any complaints or anything that I need to be made aware of that they need to address. And so far, so good, unless it's anything that I don't know or I'm not aware of. Also, in the back of the room, I don't know if he wants to come up and introduce himself. He's casually giving our new neighbors literature, and they don't know who he is, but he's one of the people that you might want to complain to if you have any issues. So I'm allowing Mr. Humphrey to come up and introduce himself quickly.
Thank you, Shane.
And congratulations again.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you. Good evening, Penn Branch. How you doing? Good. All right. So, thank you, Madam President. It's just as great as you ever will be. Thank you to the chair, to the board. So my name is Lionel Humphrey. I'm the Deputy Director for Councilman Vincent Gray. Also, my first duty is as the Chairman and ANC 7B07. So I'd like to thank all of you. If you're on Highwood Drive, Carpenter, Texas Avenue, you're all my constituents. I really thank you, and we appreciate you for allowing me to serve you for another 2 years. So for another term as ANC Commissioner. So I really appreciate that. There's several things that's going on. I'll let you know. I want to be very brief, so I have a little time. I'll let you know. First on the ANC piece. So one of the things that we've been having a lot of complaints about has been the 311 services. And, you know, people have stated, hey, when we call 311, what's going on? We never hear it back. We do not know what happens to the calls. They get routed to Maryland. It's all kinds of places. So what we decided to do is to bring Office of Unified Communications in. And so our next meeting is going to be the 17th of this month at 6:30 p.m. at Ryland Methodist Church right here with the behind the Exxon gas station, 3200 as in Sam Street, Southeast. First, also, yeah, we say this too. We unfortunately had a passing. Robert Richards, who was the former ANC 7B07, he was actually the chair and commissioner for 7B07, and his funeral was today. I see a lot of you, I've seen y'all twice today already, so it was well attended, and I really applaud all the hard work that Robert Richards did, and his wife Laura Richards, who, you know, she's like the zoning guru, so I really appreciate that family and everything they have done. So, let me say some of the things y'all should know that we had a kind of rough weekend, Ward 7 with the fires and things of the nature, the homicide and things of the nature. I can't speak on it all. It is an ongoing investigation. I know that we're at MPD and the council office is doing everything we can do to make sure that we close out their cases immediately, and we think we're pretty much close to it. So you should hear some things coming in upcoming days and or weeks. So with that being said, please, I pass these information out. This is something in which that, please read at your leisure. This is some of the things that your councilman is doing, fighting hard. You know, we had a big piece with the hospitals, and just basically it was back and forth and so far. We're able to say that, you know, we're trying to make sure that we get a hospital here east of the river. I mean, we need one, as you know, the healthcare disparities are terrible over here east of the river. So, as Shannon stated now, if there's any constituent complaints, if there are any complaints that you have, any things, I know that there was some complaints about people, you know, doing all kinds of stuff in the ward, and so, you know, I get all kinds of calls. So if there's anything that you'd like to talk to me about, or try to meet with the councilman or whatever have you, I'm your man. So I'll give you my cell phone number, you can give me a call, and we can move forward. My cell phone number is 202, and that's 276-3307. So that's my personal cell, 202-276-3307. Also, we're holding ward meetings in the ward as well, and so, you know, we have an office down there by the ODS building. So if you'd like to come and talk to the council member and or have a constituent complaint, go be in the office, and we will start posting those days. Also, just to let you know, MLK Parade is coming up. We need people that would like to walk with the councilman in the MLK Parade. So if you're interested in participating in the MLK Parade, it's going to be on the 21st of this month. So please, it's a great parade, you know, and we're actually trying to look to see what we can do in Ward 7 as far as the parade as well. So we'll see what we can do. But if you have any questions, I'll be at the back of the meeting. I would like to do this before I leave. So I got tickets for, do we have any Caps fans in the room? Caps fans in the room? We got one Caps fan. I'll tell you what, since you're the only Caps fan, come on up and get your ticket. We got nothing wrong with this. I have also, you have two couple. Married couple? All right, okay, the married couple. What's your plans? Well, I know Mr. Harris and his wife over there. We've spoken to him quite extensively. I have Saturday the 12th Georgetown versus Providence at Capital One Marine. Would you like to go with that? And I have one more set of tickets for Georgetown versus Marquette. Do we have anybody, any Georgetown fans? Georgetown fans? Georgetown? Anybody? Going once? Going twice?
There you go.
Oh, well, right on. All right, that's going to be on Tuesday, January 15th. So I just need to get y'all names before y'all leave, though, so I know exactly who I get the tickets to, but I really appreciate everything. And so if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I'll be more than happy to take them. Thanks so very much.
Okay, so we're going to wrap it up so you guys can get home and turn on your TV to watch the president's address. And yes, I'm sorry. We have a speaker that wants to get up quickly.
One more thing.
Okay. Oh, are you?
She's
Hi everyone. I'm Brandy Lee. I live on Texas Avenue with my mom, Janarda McEachran, just wait. And my grandfather lives on Highwood Drive, Bobby Chandler, and I grew up in the neighborhood. And I have returned home after many years of dancing with Alvin Ailey and the Lion King. And for the last 5 years, I've worked with a dance company and ballet conservatory in Memphis, Tennessee called Collage Dance Collective. Collage will be coming here for the 5th time for their annual concert called Rise. And I will be performing in this concert. Along with the professional company of Collage Dance Collective will be 50 local students, ballet students, from this area, from 8 different schools. We auditioned them, they came, and the performance will be at the Arc, February 8th and 9th. So I would really love it if the community would come out to see a ballet performance right in our own neck of the woods. It's very high quality, it's a wonderful show. I wouldn't try to get up here and sell you on something shabby. The tickets are $30 if you go online or if you buy them at the door. But if you get them from my mom or from me, which you can do because we have them, we'll and mention PBAC. We'll sell them to you for $25, which is the group rate. So my email address is Brandy Lee, and Brandy is BRANDYE. And my last name is Lee, L-E-E, @gmail.com. And just shoot me a text, an email, mention Rise, and that you're from the Civic Association. I'm sorry, PBCA, I got those wrong. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a little développé, and please come to the show. I love the art, so I will be there front and center. Okay, so thank you guys for coming out. We will see you next month. Get home safely. Until next time.